Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time. Reporting to you live from our headquarters at Asmara, I'm Zahra Badouri. But first we'll begin with your major and top and exclusive headlines for this broadcastial segment. President Forte laid Forte at Eritrea's cemetery. An announcement from the Ministry of Health and vaccination coverage of mothers and child in the central region. On your international, ban on disposal plastic use aimed at reducing pollution in Chile. Amazon deforestation records high destruction of trees in January. Welcome to your domestic in brief. President Forte in the morning hours of today, February the 12th, laid a wreath at the Eritrea cemetery in tribute to the Eritrean heroes and heroine who paid ultimate price for the Eritrean independence. The event was attended by ministers, army commanders, PFDJ officials, as well as Massawa residents and other guests. Meanwhile, the official ceremony of the commemoration of the 32nd anniversary commemoration of Operation Finkel was conducted today, 12th February, under the theme Finkel Endowment of Heroism of Generations, in the presence of a limited audience respecting the guidelines issued to control and combat the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at the occasion, Mrs. Asmarat Abraha, governor of the Northern Red Sea region, said that Operation Finkel has been game-changer in the Eritrean people's struggle for the total liberation of the country. Mrs. Asmarat went on to say that the fact that the Operation Finkel is commemorated every year with patriotic zeal attests to its deep meaning in the history of Eritrea. Mrs. Zainab Umar, chairperson of the Holidays Coordinating Committee in the region, on her part expressed appreciation to all that contributed to the colorful commemoration event of this year. The official ceremony starting from 4 p.m. was highlighted by naval parade as well as cultural and artistic performances depositing Operation Finkel and was broadcast live through ERi-TV and Dimzahafash. The anniversary commemoration of Operation Finkel will continue until tomorrow, 13th of this February. In the same vein, a photo exhibition in connection with the 32nd anniversary commemoration of Operation Finkel was opened by General Philippos Walde Johannes, Chief of Staff of the Eritrean Defense Force. The exhibition included the heroic feat that the Eritrean liberation fighters demonstrated during the Operation Finkel, lifestyle of the people of the Northern Red Sea region, agricultural activities, as well as the rich marine and tourism resources. Proceeding with your domestic on your health report, 2 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at testing stations in the central and southern region. Out of these, 1 patient is from testing station in the central region. The other patients is from testing stations in Araza, southern region. On the other hand, 5 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. Sadly, a 75-year-old patient in the Ansaba region has passed away due to the pandemic. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 9,466, while the number of deaths has risen to 103. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 9,664. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 12th February 2022. On your final domestic, at a meeting conducted on 10th and 11th February at the Mbasoira Hotel, the Ministry of Health branch in the Central Region reported that in 2021, vaccination coverage of mother and child has reached 99.4%. The report also included that the prevalence of malaria has been reduced to 0.05%, and 97% of the villages in the region have implemented community-based environmental sanitation program. At the meeting in which Mrs. Amina Noor Hussein, Minister of Health, as well as heads of the United Nations office in Eritrea took part. Dr. Mulugeta Haile, head of the Ministry of Health branch in the Central Region, gave extensive briefing on the activities implemented in the region with a view to ensure that the health of the public, indicating that the achievement registered attests to the strong effort that the Ministry of Health has been exerting. Dr. Andebrhan Tesfatsion, DG of the Public Health, called for reinforced participation of all stakeholders in the effort to curb the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Colonel Gabrahannes Waldegergis, DG of Social Services in the Central Region, on his part called for integrated effort on the part of all stakeholders in the effort to expand and ensure health service provision to the public. Up next with your global report, do stay tuned for more. And on your reports on the global line, single use of plastics such as straws, utensils, and containers will be banned across Chile starting on Sunday, February 13th, tomorrow, when a new law comes into effect. Aimed at reducing plastic pollution, the new regulations will curb 23,000 tons of plastics every year, according to Chile's Deputy Environment Minister, Marcelo Fernandez. The law stipulates a 3-year period for restaurants and other food vendors to shift from the plastic and polyester containers and items they provide to their customers into biodegradable materials. According to 2018 data from the World Bank, Chile generated the second largest amount of garbage among Spanish and Portuguese-speaking countries in Latin America, just behind Mexico. With your final report, the number of trees cut down in the Brazilian Amazon in January far exceeding deforestation for the same month last year, according to the government satellite data. The area destroyed was 5 times larger than 2021, the highest in January total since record began in the year 2015. Environmentalists accuse Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro of allowing deforestation to accelerate. Protecting the Amazon is essential if we are to tackle climate change. As reported, trees are felled for their wood, as well as to clear space to plant crops to supply global food companies. At the Climate Change Summit, the COP26 in Glasgow last year, more than 100 governments promised to stop and reverse deforestation by the year 2030. The latest satellite data from Brazil's space agency, ENIPE, again calls into question that the Brazilian government's committed to protecting its huge rainforest, saying as environmentalists reported, green space are calling on supermarkets in the UK and elsewhere to drop suppliers who are involved in deforestation from their meat and dairy supply chain suppliers. Deforestation totaled 430 square kilometers, equaling to 166 square miles in January, an area more than 7 times the size of Manhattan, New York. Falling large numbers of trees at the start of the year is unusual because the rainy season usually stops longer from exceeding dense forests. Brazil's vast rainforest absorbs huge amount of greenhouse gases from the atmosphere, acting as what is known as a carbon sink. But the more trees cut down, the less of the forests can soak up emission. But the area is almost home to communities who say they need to use the forest for mining and commercial farm in order to make a living. At the same time, indigenous communities living in the Amazon fight to protect the rainforest and their ways of life. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we are back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these are your top and exclusive headlines for this broadcast in review. President Isaias Afwerki laid wreath at Eritrea's cemetery. Vaccination coverage of mother and children in the central region, an announcement from the Ministry of Health. On your international, ban on disposal plastic use aimed reducing pollution in Chile. Amazon deforestation recorded high destruction of trees in the past January. That is all for now. Have a nice one.